My
I
bad.
some Hello world. He is I is him, not so slim with the tilted brim. Ryan, aka Crownson. This is the Healing Chefs podcast. The Healing Chefs podcast is about chefs. Now, chef being derived from chief being a leader. Everyone that I have on here is a chef in their own right, I believe. But actually, today we have another chef, Chef Chris Martin, aka Convicted Creations.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming out. Appreciate you. Yeah, dog. I'm a big fan of you, and I know a lot of people are. So yeah, this is gonna be dope. So we're gonna start. If you could just educate the listeners, watchers, because goes on YouTube, Spotify,
Cool.
stuff like that.
Well, you know what, man? My name's Chris Martin. I'm kind of the old guy now, I guess, in the industry. I got more gray hair than some of these people got years here, but you know what I mean? Yeah, right. Don't look in the mirror. We got our start young. I guess you could say, like my parents grew, so I got in really young. But once I came to Arizona, I was a baseball player. I got recruited by Yavapai up in Prescott to play college baseball, and I got caught with a joint in my dorm room.
Damn.
And got 3 years in prison.
Fuck.
Never been in trouble before, but because I lived in boys' homes or foster homes back home in Kansas, they felt that I kind of liked the system and deserved to go there. So good, it's a double-edged sword. Obviously, going to prison is never fun, but I did get to meet my wife in Prescott before I went to jail. So we've had 25 years together. Yep. Thank you. In 2009, we started a brand called Zonka, Willy Wonka. We were sitting around making chocolates, helping a couple of veteran patients of ours that had cancer, and we were making RSO and stuff, and came up with this brand. And when we went medically legal, it just took off. We're at the compassion clubs, all the collectives, we're boothing it up.
I remember Zonka for sure.
Getting our products out there, doing our thing. And then 2012, the state said, you know what, man, we don't like these guys not paying taxes or whatever their thought process was, and kicked our doors in. And I was looking at over 100 years at that time.
God.
127 years to be exact. I had 15 felonies, and my wife was looking at 11. It was brutal.
Fuck, bro.
Found out there was an informant in the case. I was also the president of a motorcycle club, so it was a perfect storm. We fought the case 3.5 years. We beat the case. I didn't get life. I got 2 years for a weapon, which was a real stretch, but 2 years is better than a million.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I haven't gone into that far, but like when they want you, they're gonna get you with something.
And we knew that.
They're like,
yeah,
fucking just.
That's my lawyer said. He said, "Look, man, if you want to go in there and have me defend you, I'll do it. But you do realize you're 6'1", 250, covered in tats, already been to prison, and now they've caught you with weed again. Like, what do you want them to do? They've already knocked it down to 2 years. Go write your book and do whatever you do and go home." So I did. I went to prison. I started a nonprofit helping other inmates doing what we do, zonkamiles.world. And then I wrote a book. The book wasn't a book. It was actually a memoir to my wife and kids, just kind of telling them, here's the truth. This is my truth. This is what happened. The news is going to paint a really bad picture of me. So I kind of want my kids to get a fair chance of understanding what really happened.
Yeah.
Wrote the book.
I like that. Yeah.
My wife got it published, helped me get it published. And then it was turned into a documentary that's now on Amazon Prime called Haters Make Me Famous.
I'll make sure to put that link in your episode and all that kind of stuff.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's
we'll figure out how to do
that. That really the documentary just kind of coincides with the book. The book was a more in-depth story about my childhood, but we can only fit so many on pages. So then the doco just kind of finished it. It well-rounded the whole story out about cannabis and how it played a role in my life and almost cost me all my freedom for it. But here we are still fighting. So that's kind of my story and how we got into it.
Dope. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. That's a rough ride for sure.
Yeah, that's a bad way to get in. I didn't come with a bunch of investors in deep pockets. Like I came in the side door, I guess you would say.
Yeah, the clandestine
Yeah, right.
ways.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into our first segment, which is cannabis journey.
Nice.
Everyone's chill now. All right.
Nothing says cannabis journey like birds.
Yeah, birds and
Nature.
and leaves. I don't know.
Right.
I'm high.
Yes.
Do leaves? Was there any leaf sounds? I don't know.
What's a leaf sound like?
Crunch.
Got him.
Right. Anybody else want to hit this? All right.
Pass that thing.
Pass it around. All right. So, cannabis journey is all about how you personally found cannabis, how you first started smoking. Like I told everybody, I started smoking like 13 out here at a ditch party. Aluminum pipe that we made from shaping around a Sharpie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's probably why I'm
Not
so
good for
fucking crazy nowadays.
Yeah, right.
Smoking aluminum. More than once.
Right.
Yeah, roast me.
Busted.
Anyway, so yeah, how did you find cannabis and like yeah?
It's funny. My mom was an old hippie. I don't even think she probably wears shoes today, but she used to grow it, and then they'd hang it in the attic. And when we were kids, they'd tell us it was tomato plants. And obviously, as you get older and a little more experienced, you put two and two together and the smells line up and you're like, wait a minute, that's not tomatoes. But personally, for me on the journey, I was diagnosed with Crohn's in 07. So I've always smoked. I've always been, I was the quarterback of the football team, but I hung out in the parking lot with the long haired guys smoking weed. So
Yeah,
I've always kind of crossed paths that way. But in 07, when I was diagnosed with Crohn's, I had tried every medication the doctors just wanted you to take, from Humira down, and I'm not doing it. It's not worth the trade-off, honestly. And
I agree.
that's where I started to take my cannabis use serious, I guess you could say. Like I went from smoking it to turning it into food and trying to juice it in the morning and trying to take RSO more often.
Right.
So 07, I'd say, is when I really, really started to pay attention. But I've smoked since I was in 7th grade. We were always potheads. We were always the guys at the concert smoking, or it's always been that. It wasn't really looked at as medicine for me personally in my journey until about 07.
Nice. And when you started smoking, I remember very much so the having to get all the seeds and shit out because we didn't have the like. I know I was in.
We were just lucky if it wasn't a brick.
That's what I'm saying. We were like I went to Goldwater High School, right? So in Glendale, Phoenix area. So out there, like every once in a while, Kind Bud would show up, whatever the hell that was, and then Christmas buds and stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, it was the brick stuff, the all that, and then can you when did you make that, like, when it's a bit of a transition for chefs to actually start cooking with it and actually healing with it? I myself started because not only with like stomach issues, but like I can't, like, sometimes I just can't smoke enough or dab enough or anything to get to that healing thing.
Sure.
How did you find your, like, what I'm trying to get at is how did you find your dosage and how do you help people get to their dosage? That was a long way around.
No problem. No, I get it. I feel like I work on my dose every day still. Some days I nail it, and there's other days that I have rough days. So I feel like it's a practice every day of trying to get it right. Just because for my illness, it changes. As I get older, as the illness progresses, I feel like I have to kind of change what I've got going on. I focus way more on my diet now. I focus way more on exercise now than I ever did in my 20s or 30s. It was more about, how many can I drink? Or,
right.
How many can I, now it's none, no, zero. There's not an appropriate amount of alcohol that I can ever have when I have Crohn's.
For sure. Yeah. With that. Yeah.
So
but
that
for me, there's really,
I guess it's kind of a daily battle of figuring it out. And when I help other people, it's really just about listening to what they have going on, and
Listening to your body.
yeah, and what I've seen over the 20 years now of doing it. I feel like every day, not only do I get to help teach somebody, but I learn something from them too. Learning about their journey. I mean, I know probably 35 people just locally that have Crohn's, and every one of our stories are different. We have a lot of similarities, a lot of the same things that happen, but
Mhm.
each one of us have something different that goes on with our
Yeah, I'm pretty
illness.
sure I just asked you as a chef what we don't like to be asked. Like, how long does that cook for? Well, until it's done.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Top it on the plate.
what's my dosage? How do I find it? Well,
Right.
you find it when you find it.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
but for the most part, I don't know. I want to like. I was talking to a couple people, and I don't know if you'd be interested. With the cannabis, I'm talking to the Exhale Society
Mhm.
about doing workshops up there
Sure.
and showing people how to like medicate their stuff and everything, so we can also help shape the market from the outside in and stuff like
I'm
that.
always down. And just so you know, we have a full location. We have a 5,000 square foot kitchen, retail store with a dining room.
Oh,
We started dinnerclub420.com, which is it's more of a national program, but it ties in with our dinners with the chef.
that's what's up.
Once a month, I do coursed infused meals,
Oh yeah, yeah.
6 courses at our place.
And it's fire
We
food. I
do
see
all
it.
kinds of neat
Fire.
stuff. So while we're hidden, we're North Phoenix, kind of off the beaten path, probably not in always the best neighborhood. We have been there almost 10 years and have
We'll
a really neat spot that's
we'll be talking.
smoke friendly.
You and I will be talking about. I have another like concept that I want to be doing here,
But
but
to answer you, we're always down to collab and work with
for
other
sure.
places to bring food and infusions to people.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
just want to what I'm trying to do with the Exhale Society, which just like any other like lounge, like you guys have your
Mhm.
guys' place and stuff, is just get um, the community, cannabis community, more interactive. And some people like certain places, some people want options and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Some people like all of the places. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just trying to offer another option. I'm not
Perfect.
trying to compete with anybody. I'm not trying to beat
That's
anybody.
awesome.
I'm just trying to like have another option and just have some fun.
Yeah, we appreciate the invite. We'd
Yeah,
always be down.
and we're gonna work with I work with you. I got some
Mhm.
stuff that I don't want to tell them about yet.
I think there's a lot of stuff too that with our place people just don't know. You know, we're kind of north. We're up there a little bit where people don't hang out a lot anymore. It's in other areas
That's
now.
so much better for what I want to do.
But yeah, we have a great parking lot. We've done farmers markets there for almost 7, 8 years. So I mean, it can be utilized, and I have a full kitchen, like 2
Yeah.
walk-ins, a beautiful space that could be utilized. So just keep
Okay.
it in mind.
Everybody, remember, like, mark this part right here because I'm gonna do something with that. We're gonna do something with that for sure.
Awesome.
I got big plans. All right. So appreciate that. So now, like, you're with your cannabis, you know, you're eating and stuff like that, dabbing. Do you lean more towards any like solventless or anything or
Absolutely.
okay?
Yeah, I'm a rosin guy. That's I really like rosin. RSO I make a lot of just because of the demand.
Mm.
Cancer is just real, and
Yeah.
I've seen the benefit just watching my wife go into remission as of the last 6 weeks. Huge, absolutely.
Thank the Lord.
The day they told her she was in remission was the same day they had her scheduled for chemo, which we denied, obviously.
Okay.
It's just a funny
Shout out to
oddity.
everybody because I had a homie recently, Gilbert Grower's mom, 100% free too. So
Yeah,
shout out to everybody.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Cannabis works, everybody.
It really
Yeah.
does. It really does. I think it's amazing just to see when people start to listen. You know,
Mhm.
just to take a second, we lost a dear friend of
Is it?
ours
Yeah.
yesterday
Oh,
to brain cancer from back home where I'm from, and she's in a state that it's not legal. And to even have the conversation with her over Messenger or over the phone or text message was it was I was stressed for her. You know, just hearing it in her voice and how scared she was to even ask about it, and it pissed me off. It
wow.
made me so
Jeez.
mad because, it's my home for one, and it's already been a sad week after what we watched happen after the Super Bowl parade, and then to lose a friend in a place where we can help. I'm not saying we were going to save everyone's lives or anything like that, but
Yeah.
we can at least give a better quality, or we can at least offer an alternative, an organic option, a plant-based method, instead of watching her go through this poisonous route, or
Yeah.
this disease just completely destroys as quick as it did. I mean, within like 4 months, she was gone. So
It's
I'm
sad, man.
thankful to be in the state we are. I just wish that as a United States, I wish we kind of did the same thing across the board, because cancer is the same thing across the board. Crohn's is the same thing. Like, I wish these people could get healing nationally. So.
Yeah, all that stuff, and all the stupid shootings and stuff like that. I don't know.
Brutal.
I don't know if you know, like the shooting in Vegas. That was my crew.
Ooh,
Like, I was supposed to be there.
that's
I
terrible.
was there like the week before doing the iHeartRadio and everything, and that whole story in that back left corner where they hide and everything. That was our walk in that everyone ran into and stuff.
Terrible.
It's crazy, man. Crazy. So,
yeah, we had friends and family at the Super Bowl parade, and
I'm from St. Louis, so
Well, and that whole area is riddled with crime and just shootings, and I mean, I grew up there. That's why I haven't moved home. I miss it. I love my friends and
that's why
family.
I moved away from St. Louis.
I think East St. Louis is probably the scariest place I've ever been.
Absolutely.
I played baseball there, and I went there, and I was like maybe 7th grade.
Bro,
it was the scariest
my birthplace, bro.
Oh, it was. I'm sorry. I don't mean any disrespect.
Not like that. That's where I was born.
I just got told by my own team, like, hey brother, you stay here. We're gonna go get lunch. We'll bring you lunch. You stay on the bus. I was like, oh no.
I had one buddy in East St. Louis. I hung out with him one time. We went. Man, that's a long story, but
coming from Kansas City to say that's scary, it's pretty scary.
Look at me. Look at me.
Kansas City is not an easy place. I've been there also, man.
Yes, sir.
Look at me and picture me younger, just walking around. Hey, what do you do?
I love playing ball there. I did love playing ball there.
Well, I mean, the last part of me in St. Louis, like I played semi-pro football, and we had a championship game. And this was during the Michael Brown thing.
Oh. So
we all stood together, had the face paint on and stuff like that, and stood together, and that was at Jennings High School.
Nice.
So and then after that, it was all that
nice
stuff and protesting and stuff, which was needed.
Heavy stuff.
But just because people are having bad days, man, it's fucking insane. But yeah, that's the reason I had to go too. But also, I was like, I want weed.
Yes.
Because I was already like, there's a place called Worms Way, and it's like hydroponics and all the stuff you need to grow and stuff. So I had my catalog. I was shopping there, and I had a part-time job at Lowe's. So like in my when I would just start walking around and just start picking out like ducting, I'm like, I need this, and and I'm like setting it up. But then homie said we can't go to Worms Way because they tell as soon as you leave.
Oh wow!
I'm like, fuck. Nice. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So I came out here for the weed. Yeah, so
that's why we haven't gone back. I don't want to be a criminal.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm good on that. I've done enough of that. I've done. I mean.
It's another show.
Yeah, it's a whole other one. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our second segment, which is Trip Tales. About okay. Then put him in a corner. All right, so Trip Tales is all about psychedelic experience, lessons, and stuff like that, personal or like I've seen a lot. What helped me turn my life around when I was really angry was ketamine. And now I'm even seeing ketamine clinics pop up in the valley. Yep. Like there was one around Tempe that I saw the other day. I was like, sick. I mean, it's expensive, but no, it helps a lot. Do you have any experience in psychedelics? Or
psychedelics, I do. I actually was diagnosed with cluster migraines and was given a whole slew of pills to take that were supposed to do something.
Yeah.
And with Crohn's, I have to be really picky about what I put in there. So talked to a couple of people and made some microdoses, took 3 or 4 a day every 4 or 5 hours, and I haven't had a headache in a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever microdose? Have you ever macro though? For and with that, how do you feel like for myself when I do like any macro dose with shrooms or something? Like acid, I love acid. Like I can take like gel tabs and like a bunch of them, and I'm just gonna have a good time, and like the world can melt away. But I'm still like somehow still really happy, and I'm like, woo. I eat some shrooms, and I'm like, all right, therapy time. Like,
right. Take this serious.
like
Yeah.
the fucking low vibration, like that monster, all that shit you were
Sure.
avoiding.
Yep.
Do you, like what I've noticed for myself, do you have a way, because I have a way that helps me is with a lot of people is the teas and stuff like that, but making sure you have ginger in there for your stomach and whatnot. Do you have any advice to people that may trip or something? Or
I always tell people just start slow. I know if you're macrodosing, people tend to tell you 5, 7, 8, 10.
I do 3.5, and that's fucking enough. I'm crazy,
and that's and know your source. Really, know
yeah.
the source of the mushroom. Know where you're getting them. I've had a rough time before on shrooms that were sourced. Who knows? Who knows?
Allegedly,
yes,
it's in the air.
So now we're just particular. I have a farmer friend who is experienced, has a clean lab, and that's what he does. That's his full time.
That's another thing. I had I worked with and I wish, here's the big thing that I want to do. I want to be able to work with these things openly, because allegedly I have, and I allegedly have some things that people haven't done before. At least that I haven't seen them.
Sure.
I'm sure that everything's been done.
Who knows?
But everything's been done. It's all been done. But I want to work with the stuff openly and stuff, and I want to like grow it, because like there's so many different species within and strains and stuff like that do so much. Because I went to Amsterdam when I was in Germany when I was in the army, because we had a 4-day weekend, and went in Rome, try the pasta, because you're in Italy, you know what I'm saying? Right. So we're like 4 hours away. Like, let's go eat some shrooms. And allegedly I got a backpack full and came back with them. I don't know how it happened. But like they were like educating me while I was there. They even had fresh ones. Like that's something that I haven't seen people have. People don't even really know about, like the fresh ones. It's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, we've talked about extractions. We've talked about coursed meals. We've talked, and Arizona's studying, so I feel like they're next. They're going to be the next one to pass it.
And a big thing too with the VA, what they should also do with prisoners.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? With all that PTSD and trauma and shit. Like
the problem is you can't even talk to them about it now because it's still a Class 2 felony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're trying to combat that, though. I'm working with a nonprofit out of California, freedomgrowforever.org, and I've been asked to be their advisory board member. I wrote a curriculum here in Arizona that I've submitted to the Arizona Department of Corrections. And what it is 30 to 40% of the people in prison end up working in the kitchen. And some of those people are there a really long time and get really good at their job. I've worked with some of the best bakers in the state in there, but they can't get a job when they come home. So why don't we have a curriculum set up that not only does it get them their food handler's card, it helps them get their serve safe, helps them get their associate's degree or their bachelor's, and then job places them. I know Chiba Hut. I know my company. I know several companies that will work with inmates or ex-felons when they come out.
Yeah.
So why don't we have a curriculum set up to have that work? So when I submitted it, DOC says they love it, but then they don't ever jump to put anything into place. I got with Freedom Grow Forever. They loved it, and they want to put it on a national scale. So we're really trying to take it federal to get it in every state. I mean, if I can go to school in prison to sell OSHA classes online that you can Google or YouTube all that info for free, then why can't I have a curriculum that actually gets these people certified for all that work they're putting in? And then when they come home, they got a job.
Yeah.
I mean, the restaurant business kind of took a dive after COVID, right? Like, I can't tell you the places we've gone and service is garbage, and everyone wants to sit at home and build a business plan on ChatGPT. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to fucking go to work anymore.
Yeah.
But these people want to go to work, and not only do they want to, they have to. They have to report. They've got fees and fines and programs that they have to be a part of. They're gonna go to work. Let them go to work. So I feel like it's two birds, one stone. It's real simple. We could make it happen tomorrow.
And if you quit treating people fucking different.
You're right.
Like, give them oh my god,
Right.
like I don't know. As a chef myself, like if you're willing to work, I'll put you to work.
That's it.
That's it.
I don't care what your background is. I mean, we
Okay.
know the background. That's why
Yeah.
that's why we have that industry. I mean, I remember as a kid, because I got in trouble, that's where I would go to work.
Yeah,
I knew I was going to get hired.
that's where the outcasts, the throwaways
Right.
are at. That's where
The
we're all
misfits.
hanging out.
That's right.
And we're all smoking weed.
That's it. That's it.
But yeah, because we're just trying to deal with the shit that like society has laid upon us, which is
Right.
all human construct bullshit.
Right.
Which, if you take some shrooms, the shit unravels.
You see more.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but everything that the government's been telling you is unraveling as we speak too. Good luck with that. Because I was in the army. It's all bullshit. They're lying to you constantly. Like, cause think about it. There was, I forget, a comedian at one point in time said, "You think the government's batting 1,000? Like they ain't lying to you at all."
Right.
He's like, "Shit, I got a child myself, and I lie to that motherfucker all the time, all the time." So if you don't think they're lying to us constantly,
right,
you're part of the problem. All right, so we'll go to this real quick break, and we'll come back with mental health is wealth.
Cool.
I'm just coughing.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Aisha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Scammer.
Me too.
The whole time.
Me too. I posted also. I kept saying, where can I post this paperwork?
Yeah, I know we're on. I'm not like we know what's going on in this community. Soil King, Scammer King. Scammer King.
Chris Hicks says nice beard.
Chris Hicks. Oh, that's the homie Tennessee Hash Daddy.
What was that? I missed the comment.
He said nice beard.
Thanks.
He
long time running at that one.
He wants to be your boy now. He said his DMs are open, but his wife is here.
Hey.
Just kidding. Everybody chill. All right. All right. So speaking of which, mental health is wealth. I myself, again, veteran with PTSD. I used to be a very angry person. And I sat down and talked with somebody, and I was described, which is a surprise to me, as like a thug. I was like,
I've been called worse.
I'm like, my baby face is a thug. I think most of you think. What's up? What's up? Oh yeah, my bad, dog. Shit. Hey, mental health is wealth. Shit. Yeah. So yeah, I used to be very angry and called a thug, which is really funny to me, but let's see here. Sorry, I'm cleaning this up. I'm gonna put in another dab. I
sure,
need
I've been
sativa. So like definitely I don't know anything about prison. Myself, I veteran, and that's a prison in itself.
Sure.
But especially being in Iraq, is like, where the fuck you going? Nowhere fast.
Wow.
The fucking sea of nothingness. Anyway,
Yeesh.
I just started disappearing into that. My bad. So I've never dealt with. How do you deal with that? And I know you're helping other prisoners and stuff like that.
Sure.
That's the point of it, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, with prison, it's I don't know, it's a bureaucracy. In my opinion, it's more about money than anything. I compare the two trips to prison. I went in the 90s where You had a 2-man cell. You had a key to your own room on the lower yards. You had a job. You could get food visits. You could get contact. I mean, it was just totally different. Like you were still treated like a human being because they knew you were going to go home. Now prison's a warehouse. You know, it's 500 dudes fighting over 4 toilets, no jobs, barely any classes, no programming, and it's so segregated and still driven by hate that it's impossible for anyone to get healing or any type of reform.
Do
So,
you?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to ask you a question.
yes, sir.
In a lot of the states, they're still having the prisoners do some of the work, like
Slave labor.
Yeah, they call it like slave labor. But do you think that's a good thing? Because I know you want jobs, you want something to do, but it seems like they always get the really hard, difficult jobs. What kind of jobs do you think they should be offered in these situations? Because it seems like it's a hard line to
Yes,
cross.
sir.
Because you have them breaking rocks and stuff, all that slave labor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's certain things that which ones are better? Because I know guys spend doing that time, they want something.
Yes, sir. Honestly, I feel like that's a twofold question, because I learned a lot in prison on this last time. If you make over $600 working for the prison, you get 1099 as a private contractor. So that means you're going to go home with a tax bill. You owe money, which to me is only setting that inmate up for failure, because now they got a bill. Now they're going to have to hustle straight out the gate just to do anything. Jobs, you're right. After 2 or 3 months of sitting there with nothing, I will rake a rock for 10 cents an hour. I will bring home $8 every 2 weeks. But then why am I paying $3.69 for one top ramen when 10 of them cost me $1 on the streets and they're actually not expired? In prison, they are. You know what I mean? And I get it. If you don't like it, don't go to prison. I totally understand that. But you also have to think 95% of these men and women are going to be our neighbors. They're coming home at some point. Why do we want them so angry and so deficient that they can't even take care of themselves? So the kinds of jobs that I think these are kind of like the curriculum I'm talking about with cooking. I mean, honestly, in prison on each yard, you're feeding over 1,000 people a day. That kitchen doesn't close ever. There's no holidays. There's no weekends. It's 7 days, 2 hot meals a day. So there's going to be a flow of staff going through there. Why aren't we teaching classes that are built off that? We could go through so many different culinary programs. I mean, look at how many branches off just from management or menu design or business ownership. We could teach a 4-year program, a 6-year program with, I mean, it just depends how much time you got. But why are we teaching these guys? You know, like one of my friends, they worked in an OSHA program and they sold OSHA like rule books or some stuff you could download off YouTube, but the prison's making money off of it. The inmate's never going to do that when he goes home. It ain't going to have nothing to do with it when he goes home.
Yeah.
Yet they let the inmate climb up on the 3-story building without wearing a helmet. Like, because we're all about OSHA now, you know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with nothing. It made no sense to me either way. I feel like we need to be more accountable for what we're doing as a person putting these people in cages. You know, look at Denmark, look at Sweden, look at some of these other countries. They got mass murderers in there and they got their own apartment, but they ain't killing no more.
Right.
They're being treated like humans, so they're acting like humans. You walk into prison now, fentanyl's cheaper in there. It's cheaper and easier. I saw a basketball-sized ball of heroin. Brother, I was in a motorcycle club 4 years. I've never seen a basketball-sized ball of heroin. Right. And I'm telling you, who brought that in? Us? The guys breaking the rocks? We right, exactly. Because they're in a predicament where there's 2 of them per every 500 making $20 an hour. You know what I mean? They got to hustle up too. So it's a dynamic that we've created because we've allowed the prisons to now go profit.
Yeah,
publicly.
that's it right there.
They're restructured now as a real estate investment trust, and we can trade publicly. If I can go buy stock in something that says I need to house people in a cage, and the more I do, I get paid more. If that doesn't breed corruption and bullshit law writing, then I don't know what does.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, it's really about linking these jobs with people and how's it going to translate into work on the streets. You know, it's cool to teach them a class, but if it has nothing to do with anything, that when they come home, you know, we come from different areas. Were you going to teach me something where I'm building golf clubs? What the hell? Like, we don't even have golf courses where I grew up.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, teach me something that I could do when I go home, even if it's flipping the egg. I mean, Denny's is 24/7 and they got benefits. That's a lot more than I had on the yard. I don't know. I just feel like as a species, as a human race, we have to stop and realize what's more important.
Well,
Is it money?
there's a lot of shit we got to stop. I mean, we got to like, it's all the different ideas and stuff in which that we're segregating ourselves. Like
Sure.
that's just one of them right
Just
there.
one small.
That's like, oh, you've been to prison? That you're over here. Oh, you're white, you're over here. Oh, you're
Yes.
gay, you're over here.
Yes.
You're trans, you know what I mean? They got us all so fucking separated and yelling at
Hating each other.
and yelling at each other that we don't see that we all need each other.
I agree.
And until we all just like kind of like tell everybody, fuck you, I'm not going to work or shit like that. We're kind of fucked because they got us in this fucking rat trap and we're all just spinning. And they're never going to get rid of the homeless because the homeless are to remind us to keep going to fucking work. Right. It's sad. And that's part of the mental health struggle and stuff. But yeah, I really hope, and that's a great cause. And if there's any way that we can help, definitely.
Thank you.
I'll definitely give any time, money, whatever I have to that because that's a fucking good cause.
Thank you.
I just worry that the fucking assholes and the powers that be don't want that to happen because this is a money making thing for them.
I can guarantee you. When I wrote the curriculum,
but there's more of us than them. That's what we don't understand. If we just keep fucking saying no.
I submitted this curriculum while I was in prison. They make you go to these mandatory classes before you are released, and if you don't take the class, you lose your good time. So one of the classes is called Thinking for a Change, and you lose 78 days good time if you refuse the class.
Jeez.
And I didn't want to go to this class. I'm like, Thinking for a Change. I'm already pissed off at the title. Like, you make it sound like we're all idiots in here. Like, we're already busted. We're already caught. You don't need to kick me while I'm down. Like, we don't know we're idiots. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in this class. I'm pissed off. I've got this whole curriculum, and the teacher.
That's
isn't that frustrating?
I'm getting pissed.
We're all mad. We were all mad sitting in the classroom, and I had my curriculum that I had been working on before I even got into this class. And the teacher was actually a CO3. So she's someone who's a counselor to a lot of us anyway. And she noticed my frustration and she asked me, what's the issue? You want to explain what's wrong? And I said, could I borrow your pen? And she said, sure. I grabbed her pen and I crossed the A out and I handed it back to her. And she was looking at me like, do I even ask? Like, do I even want to open up this can of worms? She's like, okay, explain yourself, Mr. Martin. I said, thinking for change. Now you just planted a positive seed in a bunch of guys that needed just one little bit of hope. That's all you needed.
That's right.
You trashed all their hope with that one letter A in there. You know what I mean? Now you're showing them a positive thing. And I think she realized that I wasn't bullshitting, that I'm there for real. I'm there to help these guys, not just.
That's what I've been talking to a couple people about because they've also started working out again. So I got that testosterone, that pump and that feeling and stuff like that. And when someone was asking me about, they're saying they're doing this and stuff, I'm like, with mental health, we need to change the way, like water. We are mainly water, right?
That's 70
and 70, yeah, and we're mainly water, and water responds to sound vibration,
Sure.
right? We've all seen Jurassic Park, boom, blah, 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 you know what I mean? So what I've just learned is don't say, like, even to your friends and family, have a great day, because you're damning them that day. You're saying you cannot have a great day today. Have a great day in the future. So instead of doing that, instead of making it a future tense and a possibility, just say today is a great day. I'm doing this. Stuff like that make everything now, because there is no future and past. There's only now.
Right.
And I think we respond well to that kind of stuff. So talking positive to ourselves and
Absolutely.
stuff. But yeah, that's definitely a good cause, and I'll do whatever I can to help you guys with that for sure. That's dope. All right. So with that, did you have anything else you wanted to share with mental health or?
No, just, honestly, I feel like after experiencing what I went through with my wife and her breast cancer,
handling all that,
we had a huge challenge with mental health through that year. I guess helping other people is so much easier than when you have to help yourself, or when you have to stop and think like, wait, this is us now. Like, it's easy to give direction and help when someone's going down, but
because
when
you're
it's
kind of
just,
detached
yeah,
from it.
when it's yourself, you almost freeze and panic a little bit. Like, wait a minute, oh crap. And
Start
I
building that thought prison around
yeah,
yourself.
we did. We had to really put up some walls and separate some things out of our lives over the last
Yeah.
9 to 10 months. And, it's caused some ups and some downs and some separations with people and organizations and groups and whatever. I realized real quick how short life was, and how, real delicate it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just some things that if you don't have time for it, don't. Cut it out. Don't waste the
Yeah.
time trying to figure out why. If it doesn't feel like it's putting you on that path, bounce, man. Like,
I
my
agree.
problem was I hung on to shit. I was like you. I'm an angry person. I let shit bug me. I let it really eat at me when I know I'm doing something right and I know I'm doing it for the
Mm-hmm.
right reason. I Through that whole experience with my wife and realizing that she could not be here that next day, all that little stuff that was really digging at me and poking at me, I learned real quickly it's not worth it.
Hmm.
Like, let that shit go. Even the drama that we've got sometimes going on right in front of us with pieces of shit that just want to tear you down left and right. It's not worth my space. It's not worth
Yeah.
my time. You know what I mean? Especially the ones
You
that
still
feel they
have
got to
to.
clear their name, or, save the day or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Go defend yourself somewhere else, homeboy. That's
I love the ones that have to hurry up and get out in front of
the train wreck that's
the
been
train.
following them from where they're coming.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, look, everybody! Hey, everybody,
Yeah.
look at me here!"
Yeah.
Like,
Smoke and mirrors. It reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. Like,
yeah. As soon as as soon as I see it, I'm like, fuck you.
yes, and that's my point is cut that shit out of
Cut
it,
it out.
and I'm a student of that game every day, trying to learn.
We create our own reality. That's what I tell a lot of people. Like surrounding yourself with the people that you want to be around, thinking, saying the things that we want to say, doing the things that we want to do. Like, even with this creative stuff, like this whole week, I've had like a kind of like I've started trying to date again, which mental health is crazy. But I met some really cool women. Unfortunately, didn't really work out. It didn't really mesh, but they're really cool people.
Cool.
But no, like I usually am making clips and stuff like that, but like just my mental health this week has just been so. I'm like, and I was starting to get mad at myself, and I'm like, bro, you need to do some work. You need to make another clip. You need to do. And I'm like, this is for fun.
Yes,
We are supposed to be enjoying this.
got to remember that.
I am not gonna do. I'm like, I'm gonna take a break. I'll make the clip when I make the clip, and when I feel like doing it. I'm like,
Nice.
we're just gonna have this week and do this shit. But yeah,
Lift that weight.
yeah. So and also I also started working out too. So I'm like, I just got so much shit going on right now.
Yep.
Like, we're just gonna focus, and I got a routine going too, which I don't know. I'm sure in prison is huge, because in Iraq it was huge, because I'm like, I'm stuck. I have nowhere to go. I don't know what to do. I'm losing my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And I would just start, I'm brushing my teeth at this time.
Yep.
I'm fucking working out in the fucking trailer that I have.
My dad was military. My wife's brother was military. We have a lot of family that's military. Prison and military sound a lot alike in some areas. I'm not sure if that's passed on from the training of the COs working there and the program regiment they ran, or if it was passed on from people who have lived there that were also in the military.
I'm sure there's aspects and stuff of it. But
I
obviously
believe
there's
the people that started the prisons were military people. And what my belief is.
Yeah.
And then you got to think they use a lot of the same foods.
Well, it's the same as
Same
school.
training. Yeah.
And they started it
hardware
in schools and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I drive around and see all these schools. They're all little prisons.
Right.
They're all little prisons.
No windows.
No windows
Yeah.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
man, I don't. Yeah. No, the whole and I'm like, I know those schools aren't meant to teach anybody, because as I'm driving doing these deliveries on my off time, almost all these schools, unless it's like a private school, they have like a warning. You need to slow down in front of them. Like, if you can't even teach the fucking kids to not go out in the street and get hit by a goddamn car, excuse my language, everybody. I love kids. Like, kids are cool and everything, but like, I'm just saying, as as the government and stuff, I'm like, I know you're not even teaching shit. You're just trying to soften everything. Like, teach them not to go out in the street.
We homeschooled our last son.
Can you try that? Let's start with having them not run out in the street. But but there's more than that. I mean, they're walking across the street and have to go home and shit. But I'm just like driving in the middle of the day. I'm like, there's nobody out here.
We noticed with public school, we had an issue with our son because of our raid. He was having some traumatic. He was 6 years old. We had 5 kids. 3 of them were in the vehicle when we got raided. My youngest son was 6 at the time when he had a machine gun shoved in his face in the vehicle.
I can't even imagine.
And it was traumatic completely all the way around. But the elementary school that he was going to, like many, are understaffed and overpacked in the classes, and they're not really meant to deal with kids who have extra traumatic issues outside of the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So like my kid is one of those kids. He's a super smart kid, but he could learn just as well sitting on that beanbag versus sitting at his desk for 8 hours. And he's not going to sit there for 8 hours. Like, he just doesn't function that way, especially if a siren goes by outside the elementary school. If he hears that, he goes into panic mode. He starts crying. Where's my mommy and my daddy? It was pretty traumatic. He's in a car. Next thing you know, we're pulled out by ghillie suits and rifles, and we're gone. I mean, just poof that fast. So when we go to the school to try to talk with them, to work with them on what we went through, they called CPS on us, which we had already had that happen when we got raided. So CPS came over, did an interview, apologized, felt really bad for even showing up at our house.
Yeah.
And I went back to the school and I pulled my kid out and we homeschooled him from that point on. I'm like,
crazy.
if you
with
can't
the CPS
handle
around here.
Oh, I mean, I've never really dealt with them other than our raid. The chick was like 20, interviewing our 20-year-old kids. I'm like, wait a minute, what is wrong with this? And she literally walked out of there like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why they called me over here. And all we did was...
And I've heard that a lot too, but I've heard it called so much on people. Even someone recently where their kid got caught with weed in school.
Yep.
Their kid got caught with weed in school and they're a fucking bad parent. Go fuck.
Yeah, they called us.
Man.
We asked them to sit down so we could explain what happened at the raid and how it affected the kids, and maybe build some type of a curriculum and mental health program to help him get through it. And instead they called CPS.
It's like, ridiculous.
Wow, that's interesting. So we just pulled him out.
Again, we're not trying to help. We're just trying to capitalize on whatever they want.
Well, and it also starts at the school level, though, because we went in to talk to them, and he had 2 male teachers. And I thought, well, cool. He's got 2 guy teachers. Maybe that'll help him relate. Maybe he's having an issue because it was a female teacher. So I don't know. Let's see. I go in, and both these guys got a nickname for him. Hey, midget, come over here. And I went, hey, what the fuck do you call my boy? Oh, we all have nicknames. That's not a nickname, dude. You're like bullying my kid because he's smaller than everybody.
They
literally called him midget.
I'm already. I don't even know who that guy is. But
well, they think that we think that's why CPS got called, because I got so mad. I flipped on the dude. Like, are you calling my kid a name, dude? He's like 7.
Yeah,
like for real.
Yeah,
they're all like 2 foot tall. Why are you calling mine a midget? Because he's shorter than the rest of them. And when I went to take him out of there, man, it was about to be a nightmare. So we didn't go back. We didn't go back.
I feel that. I don't know. I'm doing pretty good for myself, but even just hearing that kind of like lights that fire.
And that was 13 years ago. He's graduated. Like, he's grown up.
That's crazy, man.
It's a long time ago.
People, I don't know. There's a bunch of male Karens. I don't know what the hell they're called. Chad's Kevin. Sorry, Chad and Kevin, if you're watching right now. Not Chad. I'm not sorry, Chad. And if we could just jump to the last segment, which is the plug talk. Ryan talking take 2. Oh shit. and we're back. All right, so plug talk is all about promo and stuff. You guys did give me this gift bag full of stuff here. Go over it. Got the CBD honey, these oil pops. I was talking to him about you guys could, like, I'm gonna trip soon and stuff, and CBD really helps with that the anxiety part of that stuff.
Yep.
So
honey sticks work great too for nausea. She gets hot flashes with the cancer treatments or from the cancer itself being taken out. And then I have Crohn's. They want to give you Zofran like right away.
Oh yeah, no, I
Honey.
have stomach issues and stuff, and the army wants to give me all sorts of stuff, and
Oh,
like
no.
I'm like I don't take any of it.
Yeah,
I'm
honey's
like
awesome.
yeah, give me that prescription. It's fucking just sits over there. Like I also don't trust the government. I'm like that could be cyanide. No, I'm
Right.
just kidding. Crazy. And then you got the tea. I do love that, especially. Y'all know yep.
Ratio.
Yeah. For sure. Let's see here. And this is the Hempful
Yep,
Farms.
CBD.
Hempful Farms, everybody. You can screenshot that, zoom in. I don't know, we'll take pictures of it.
Yeah, we've got a retail store over at 19th and Bell too.
19th and Bell. 19th and Bell. 19th and Bell. 19th and Bell. Said it 3 times, now you gotta go. And then you got cartridge, the Zonka Farms.
Yeah.
Dope. Do you know what strain that was?
That one was Jack Hare.
I appreciate that. That'll help me do the editing that I didn't want to do this week. Yeah, because I usually have like coffee, but man, I had that Death Wish coffee recently.
Oof!
And did the espresso.
Coffee.
Man, that's cocaine. That's cocaine.
I can't do it. I get tremors smelling it.
I was just sitting. Yeah. I was like in the kitchen going.
Yeah. I feel like I'm about to stroke out just with one little drink. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, it's
caffeine drives me crazy.
Yeah, this is even worse. This is the strongest, and this is good too because I don't know.
Top seller.
This muscle rub. I'm an old veteran, and that'll help.
We sell a lot of that joint rub.
And then
what else? Oh, God,
there, and then we got the chocolate bar.
Oh, my favorite, strawberry cheesecake.
Oh shit! All right, we're gonna pop
200 milligrams.
All right, a little ASMR. Let's see.
That's hot, Mike. It's got like 1,000 followers.
Yeah, I mean, we did go over 1,500 recently, so that's pretty dope. But
little graham cracker crust on the back.
I don't know. I did the ASMR one time with homie's rosin pen that he gave me. People liked it or whatever, but I was just I make this shit for me, guys. I don't like I like this shit. So if you don't, I'm sorry, but once you undo the wrapper, you can already smell it.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like white chocolate. But this shit is fire, actually.
Thank you.
Like white chocolate, usually it's just kind of like one note, and it's not really chocolate.
Yep.
And this, you have.
It's good.
You have depth.
Yeah, we use an organic.
Damn.
An organic extraction for the strawberry flavoring.
Yeah, because that's strong. Fucking, yeah, that's strong.
It's not a syrup.
No. I love that. Okay. You guys can't have any.
You can have it all.
Oh, I'm telling
Maybe not right now.
I'm telling everybody that's listening that hangs out with me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna bring it. I don't know if I'm gonna show up to the Exhale Lounge tonight or tomorrow, but I'll bring that up there.
Cool.
And some other stuff.
Right on.
And I'll let some people try it. What else do you have going on coming up?
We have a lot of stuff going on. That's all we do is have stuff going on. I still do.
It's great to have stuff going on.
It is. I do the chef dinners. So the 24th of February, we've got dinner with the chef over at Hempful. It's a 6-course infused meal, 150 a person. We just have fun. I seat maybe 20, 22. It's super exclusive. We have a lot of good times. We've got that going on every month. So go to Eventbrite, just look up Dinner with the Chef. And then dinnerclub420.com is what we're doing nationally. That's something that we're going to be doing all over, where I get with each state's chefs and we come in and whatever they're known for in that state, whether it be corn or all the way up to the Wagyu beef, who knows? We're just going to go have fun. Right. We're going to go have fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just travel around, check it out. And then the nonprofit, I've just had a hell of a time with Uncle Miles by myself, me and my wife trying to do this. So we've joined forces with Freedom Grow Forever, and
okay.
I'm really look forward to being on their board and helping them out. With that, we do so much work with around Thanksgiving, we do our dinner. Christmas, we do the angel tree, and then throughout the year we do backpacks. We raise for sports equipment, anything we can do for kids. It's really about the kids. And then I picked up a coaching job, so I'm working with kids even a little bit more now.
This guy.
I'm stoked, man.
He's doing it all, folks.
There's a new prep program.
He's not leaving anything for you to do. So just
I won't do it all.
Just watch these episodes. Subscribe.
Honestly, the football part's for me. I'm a football guy. I love football, and it's a really good time.
Roll Tide.
Chiefs. It's a good time to be a Chief fan right now. But
hey, Alabama.
Yeah, hey, they had their run.
No, it ain't going nowhere.
No, this is more a prep program. So kids who graduate that didn't sign on D1, D2, or NAIA, we're going to give you another year to play, where you've got a year of eligibility that you don't lose. You don't use it. You can take 9 credit hours that will all transfer with you when you go to another program. And it's just a year of kind of play more ball, get better, get seen.
Yeah,
that's a good year. We're out a good year.
I love that shit.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I'm going to have to check that shit out.
Goodyear Wranglers. Goodyear Wranglers.
I have to check it out because I'm a big football fan. Really college because a lot of the NFL. Yeah. I used to be a big fan of the Rams and stuff because I was in St. Louis. But when they moved, I also moved. I'm like, because our little semi-pro football team was kind of like working with the Rams and stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when they left, and I was also a fan, and I'm like, well, I don't know, that was all. So I'm now a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm out. Bye, guys. And I can't be mad at you. I mean, we kick your ass every year.
Yeah, no. So that's why
my best friend.
That's why I kind of trailed off a little bit, and then he just won the Super Bowl in our stadium.
In your stadium, and John Elway gave us the trophy.
Shut the fuck up. But to be fair, I'm a Johnny Come Lately Raiders fan, so it doesn't hurt as much as some of you. Right. But if you say shit about Alabama, we're shutting the shit down. No, I mean that's family stuff. I love it, and I love football. I hate Auburn.
Understandable.
No, I love the competition and the and even at the end of the day, you still respect everybody and it's a good time and stuff like that. So it's really great that you're helping those people out because I feel like there's quite a few people that aren't quite ready and they just need that little bit of help. And I mean, that's all you've been doing constantly is just that little bit of help, helping people out. And dope.
Well, if you watch the documentary Haters Make Me Famous, it'll tell you that whole story, and it introduces a gentleman named David Alvarado. He was my CASA worker as a kid. If it wasn't for guys like him who gave me a little help and just showed me a little path of what to do and how to get there, who knows, I mean, it could have turned out a lot different for me. And on top of it, I didn't get life. I didn't get 127 years. I got to do something with that. I got a second chance. So it's kind of my job now to make sure that I give back and help other people.
I feel that because, with the Army and stuff, I made it back too. So,
yes, sir.
So let's do something. But all right, man, I really appreciate you coming out. There's so much more that we have to talk about, but I'll just ramble forever. But if you guys can, we are having a sesh at Exhale Lounge the 29th of March. If you guys want to come out, you probably have something already. But if you can, we're gonna have Potent Planet out there, Tree Junkie, all the local growers and shit like that. It's from locals only. So I've started a little sesh called From Locals Only, and obviously it says it in the name.
Nice.
And we're just trying to get the community involved again.
Awesome. Sounds great.
All right. Thank you for coming out. Thank you, Habari Entertainment. If you want to check out any of that and video podcasting stuff, check out habarientertainment.com, habarientertainment.com. Shout out Sin City Seeds. Eventually, when I start growing, I have a couple strains of theirs, one that we named in AZ. That'll be dope. Shout out Pause, Team Skunkworks, Pheno Rich, all of them. Smoke weed Anyway, tap in, smoke up, trip out. We love you all. Check out the documentary. And we're out.
Almost definitely.
I have